Hi, welcome back to the Average Whiskey Drinker channel. I'm your host, Brian. Today, we're going to be trying out Hidden Barn Series 2, Batch 1, 112 proof. How does it match up against the first batch that Jackie Zykan did? Let's find out today. So a few years back when Jackie Zykan went off on her own and left Old Forester, she went and created, with another company, Hidden Barn. Series 1, well, small batch Series 1 came out last year to some fanfare. Of course, it's Jackie Zykan, master taster for Old Forester, did her own thing. So Series 1 came out, and now this year I was able to procure my hands on small batch Series 2, Batch 1, 112 proof. And we're finding out that this one brings together pot still production, generously high rye mash bill, resulting in flavorful and complex spirits. Barrels were distilled at Roland distillery. Not like the last one, which was a Neely family distillery. That was Series 1. So she's gone and did a completely different, gotten barrels from a different company. And the mash bill is fermented with 3 to 4 days using Christian County, Kentucky water and industry standard yeast. It's then double pot distilled and collected at 110 proof. The undiluted distillate is then matured in wood-fired Kelvin Cooperage American white oak barrels. The barrels rest on the property, and once matured, they are filtered only for sediment before bottling. They're located in Pembroke, Kentucky, and Roland is the founding distiller of the Kentucky Bourbon Craft Trail. Now, this I tried a little bit first so I could kind of get, I know a lot of people, I'm starting to see a lot of, is the neck pour a real thing, or is it just basically made up in your mind? I don't care what anybody says. I've had a lot of bottles that I've let mellow over time. Starlight Distillery single malt was one of them. It tasted like gritty chocolate dirt water, to be honest with you. And I literally had to let it go down to almost down here for it to be, I want to say best word, drinkable, so it's not a drain pour. So on this one here, I wanted to get the neck pour out of the way. Plus, I was surprised to see no one has done a review on this. It's been out since January. I was able to get this from Sealbox. So I was excited to see that I would be one of the first, other than like Breaking Bourbon, who did the review, I think a week ago. So this one again is batch 1, 112 proof. Only 10 barrels were made to produce this. So that basically means anywhere between 150-ish to 200 bottles were made. So I was lucky enough to get one of them. So we're getting into the nose. Like I said, I had a neck pour out of this before. So I'll also be doing, I was able to procure a Hidden Barn in Madura casks. So I'll be doing a review on that also, but on the nose. I get definitely an oak note. There's definitely some oak. Almost like a sweet grape, like a Concord grape that you kind of bust it open a little bit and take a sniff. That's what this smells like. You get like a light baker's chocolate note, like a vanilla. I mean, the nose, don't get me wrong, the nose is really good. It's just the last one that I had, the Series 1, I wasn't really a fan of. It had almost a very youthful note to it. So I'm really hoping this one, after being open for about 2 weeks, kind of had a little bit of air to get and kind of mellow this out a little, because the first sip was very, let's just say, youthful. So we'll get now to the tasting. You definitely get a smoky undertone, almost like a slight barrel char. There's a hint of chocolate. I wouldn't call it a milk chocolate. I definitely call it like a baker's chocolate. It's just underlying on the palate. But at least this sip didn't raise the hair on my arms like the first one did. That one was a little punchy. Had a little bit of youth note on it. Now, for this one here, even when I went to the site for Hidden Barn, there was no mash bill. So I don't know. I know it's a high rye, but I don't know if it's 30, 40, 50% rye, how much corn in a malted barley. It didn't give any information, which was a little shocking because Series 1, they really got into what the mash bill was, where it came from. They aged it. This one's kind of like they're almost, to me, throwing a dart and hoping the name kind of propels it forward. But the first sip was good. Had, like I said, a little bit of that baker's chocolate, a little bit of the smoky undertones. The grape note that you smell doesn't really transfer through to me to the taste. It's still that smoky undertone is really the driving force past the palate in the finish. I get a little bit of a roasted, like a peanut. But it's kind of there and gone. It's a little Kentucky burn, just a little right here. But I'll honestly say, for the $70-ish plus shipping, I could honestly list 14 or 15 far better bourbons than this. I mean, a lot of them. I mean, I'm just looking around. Elijah Craig, small batch. Four Roses, small batch select. Any barrel picks from Mash and Drum. My Bourbon Journey, the Bourbon Junkies, even the Bourbon Judge, ADHD Whiskey. I would list and take any of theirs over this. This to me is a hard try before you buy. I would not spend the money, get it, and then be massively disappointed. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Series 1 and compare it to Series 2 and see which one has a little bit better of taste as it's mellowed. Because Series 1 I've had open now roughly for, give or take, 6 months. So let's see. I've had this sitting in my Pours in the Park, in the Bourbon Junkies. And then we have Series 1, this is batch 2. And this one is 110 proof. So we've got 2 versus 1. So we're going to see on the nose. Yeah, this definitely has mellowed out a lot more. I get a light cinnamon, a light caramel, a light oaky note. It's not punchy like it used to be. A slight roasted note of, like if you took caramel and hit it with a scorch torch to give it a creme brulee, like just that little bit of hint on your nose. Let's see what the taste is like. Oh yeah, that mellowed out a lot better. This, when I first got it, I was not a fan. I won't lie. It had a very youthful note, same as this one did. But as you can see, as it's gotten down to here, that youthful note is tamed out. It still has some legs compared to this one. This one has a little bit of viscosity, but I mean, you can see they both have the same light kind of tone. Yeah, this one, definitely Series 1. We'll call it Series 1, small batch. Series 2, small batch. This one is definitely mellowed out over time. It just has a better smell, better taste. It's more gentle on the palate. It doesn't have that bite like this one did. You still have that oaky note. It's a strong oaky note. It still has a youthful taste. I will not lie. Honestly, this is one of those, they should have let this sit another year or two to mellow out. To me, like I said, between both these being $75-ish plus shipping, there's a ton more that you would rather buy than this. A ton more that don't have that kind of bite. But then again, a lot of people out there might love this. Me personally, I prefer a different, creamier, mouthful palate that just envelops you and just wants you to want to drink more and buy more. So if these are for you, awesome. Honestly, any of the other channels out there that want a 2-ounce pour of this, you let me know. Bourbon Judge, Mash and Drum, Bourbon Junkies, ADHD Whiskey, those bourbon guys, any of the people that I watch, Whiskey Row, you let me know. I will definitely make sure I get you a 2-ounce pour of this, and I would love to see your reaction since there was only roughly 2,000 bottles made. Again, find a bottle, open the bottle, enjoy the bottle, because good whiskey is meant to be shared. Thanks for watching.